everybody, and welcome. Tonight, we have championship night for the Redwood Acres Raceway Series. The NorCal Automotive 120 at North Wilkesboro is going to round it out. In the booth tonight for the Driving DJ Network is DJ himself and Mr. Steve. Steve, how's it going, my friend? You ready for this championship night? It's been a crazy season.
It has been. I'm excited. We're going to crown a champion, and I'm really excited that we're going to check out North Wilkesboro tonight.
Yeah, this place is looking pretty sweet from everything I've seen. Pretty excited to cap this season off, man. It's been a wild one. We got some statistics, some battles to watch for tonight. We'll bring up some graphics here in a little bit, and you know, we'll see who's fast right now. You see the 16 car is pretty fast. We're on board or on right now with the 99. But Steve, it's been a wild one. These guys have been racing, you know, 2 nights a week the last 6 weeks or so, and they really have they've done some pretty good racing.
Yeah, I came on about mid-season with you and seen just a little bit of everything. You got to wait, obviously, until that final checker flag, because a few times we found ourselves announcing stuff where we thought a guy for sure was going to put that car in victory lane, and as we saw on Monday night, things can change pretty quickly here with this Redwood Acres Raceway Series.
Yeah, these guys, you know, Brett Merle looked like he had it pretty locked up. He led for a lot of it, and Bailey Turner with some newer tires on, about 20 or 30 laps of newer tires, ended up, you see White and the 14 car of Tillman going around there. He just kind of caught up with him and ended up making his way to his bumper. They touched a little bit. They raced really hard. It was awesome racing. Then they ended up rubbing just a little bit too hard, and Merle ended up not going around, but having to really woe the car down and save it. Finished second, but Turner got another win for the season for him.
And Merrill put on such a power show. I mean, I want to say we ended up with 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap. I mean, we've seen some dominant performances, but he really looked like he was going to win that one going away. And like I said, to see so few cars, I mean, they were lapping, you know, 5th place towards the end of that one. And like I said, you never know what you're going to get, but one thing we are going to get is a champion tonight. So really looking forward to see where we sit here at the end of the night.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be cool to see it. I'll see if I can bring up any graphic as we're watching the 33 of Andrew Ward go around here. We'll jump on with Scott Sable here, see if we can bring up some graphics here. Well, first off, let's just check out the point standing. So it's going to go over Sable here as we watch here. But, I mean, Bailey Turner, 6 main event wins, 5 heat race wins, and 10 top 5. So he's got a pretty commanding lead, about 30 points on Isaiah Gill, who's been right up there kind of the whole season as well. He's got 3 main event wins under his belt, 8 heat race wins, 6 top 5s, and 9 poles. So look for him to be at the top of the charts in qualifying. And right now, with 28 minutes left, he's at the top of the charts already. So 20 cars in this one as of right now, but he's looking pretty sporty. Brett Merle has himself a main event win. He won at the Charlotte Legends Oval. He's always been a front runner, like we said. Very dominant race on Monday night. Couldn't seal the deal off there, but had a great run going. He's got 5 heat wins and 8 top 5s. He's at 312 points, so he's only about 13 points behind the 3 of Isaiah Gill. And then you got Tyler Peach, who's been he's been up there, man. He ended up winning a B main event at 5 flags and ended up finishing like top 3 or top 5. But he's got 6 top 5s and a pole, as well as 3 heat race wins. And then Brian Merle Jr., the older brother of Brett, he's sitting there in 5th place right now with 2 heat race wins and 4 top 5s under his resume, and he's only 7 points behind Peach, Steve.
Yeah, you mentioned Tyler Peach only with a 7-point lead on that 4th place in points. And don't forget, Monday night, he was supposed to start on the pole, DJ, had problems and did not start the race on Monday night, or else that point gap would have been a little bit different going into tonight.
Absolutely, and we can check for some battles to look at throughout the night. These are something that we just might want to keep an eye on. 5th, 6th, and 7th. These guys are within 16 points of each other. That's Merle. It was Gavin Pittman in the 1 car, and then the 24 car as well of Brad Curtis. He's in 11th right now. But those guys are pretty much nose to tail, and then 10th, 11th, and 12th are within 9 points. 14th through 17th are within 9 points. And 24th and 25th, Siri Reed and the 39 car of Gary Kleinfeld, those guys are 2 points apart as well. So there's going to be battles all over the track for points, and you know, it should be an action-packed night. New track for these guys, so nobody's like super experienced at it. So it should be fun to see these guys wheeling these street stocks around.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. DJ, you gotta stretch that screen out for me, man. I want to be able to see as much of the action as I can here tonight. You said new to the drivers, it's new to us as well. I mean, if you know, we're a NASCAR fan, you know, 15, 20 years ago, whenever it was. I mean, you're familiar with the track, but this was just released a few weeks ago, and like I said, these guys are probably minimal practice on it, and for you fans watching at home, for a lot of you, this might be the first time that you've seen this track on iRacing, and I know a lot of drivers that I've talked to in different series are really looking forward to getting this one and running some laps there, so we kind of get a little sneak preview of it here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if we can jump on board with somebody here and see kind of the line and how it's going here. We got let's go on board with McMillan. He's running decent right now. He's in the top 10. He's only a 10th off. All these guys, once again, are really close to each other. So it'd be cool to see what these guys are doing and how they're wheeling around here. All the different lines. This place is kind of uphill, going down each straightaway, dive down into the corners a little bit. Not super banked, but not very high grip as well. You know, this place had a lot of time wore onto it. You know, I mean, they recovered this track. They trimmed it up. Dale Jr. and a bunch of guys, he grabbed a crew and they cleaned this place up and had a mound of just weeds and everything that was growing through. So through laser scanning and repairs, they kind of made it what it was, and I think it turned into a pretty good product.
Yeah, and you got to look at turn 1 and 2, man. This track 20 years old. Look at some of those Winnebagos up there. Look to be almost about just as old. Yeah. Up there. So that's cool. One thing I noticed, DJ, you got to look at 15th place on the board. Looks like the crew having a little fun with the 9 car. Looks like they might have maybe put a little extra graphics on the car for tonight for our buddy Mr. Turner in the 9 car.
Mr. Domination is what it said, or Dr. Domination. He did get his doctorate degree just this past year, I believe. So he's the doctor, man. He's been dominating all night long. Got that ain't no laws when drinking the claws. Need this 9 car, just adapting and getting that thing back up front as the night goes on.
DJ, this is a big, wide racetrack. You think you're going to see some battles on the top, on the bottom? Where do you think this one's going to play out here tonight, or is it too tell?
I don't know. You know, we can jump on board and see what Turner's doing. McMillan was awfully low when we were watching him. It looks like Turner's about to groove up on that bottom set of ticker marks. He's got them right sides kind of straddling it, or right up to it. So he's trying to keep it freed up. If you get these things too low, just the power to weight ratio just doesn't have anything at any track. So the corners are pretty wide, and you know, these things are able to come around, as you see Turner, who's had a lot of success all year long, even make a mistake there in practice. But here's your fast time in this throwback little Skittles car here of Isaiah Gill. I mean, you can see how both lines are working right here is a perfect example.
Man, and the crew must be busy on that 3 car all season, because that thing looks sharp every week with a new paint job and a new sponsor on it just about every race here. Yeah,
he definitely has some cool schemes on this thing, and from Baja Blast to Intimidator to Skittles, you know, he's been all over the board in this thing. So it's cool that you have the ability to do that, you know, especially on a street stock, normally a lower budgeted car. It's awesome to be able to kind of customize it week in and week out, or, you know, twice in 1 week in this instance for these guys.
See, I love that camera angle there up above the 3 car, as he's our fastest in practice so far with the 74 right behind him. You get a shot at that nose of the 74 car of Mural. And now we'll look out the noses. He's going to try to chase down the 40 of Brian Nudie.
Awesome paint scheme, still rocking it on that 40 car, that Milwaukee red and white street stock, running him down. We'll jump on board with him and see if he can See that Skittles car coming in the mirror. You can really see the left run on these things bouncing up and down throughout the corners. But yeah,
Yep.
they're just sweeping these things
Noticed
out.
that last week at that angle, seeing those cars kind of bounce up and down like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely rough. So it should be fun, man. Should be fun indeed.
It's pretty sunny out there, DJ. What are the track temperatures sitting at now during the day while they're going to practice?
Right now, track's actually looking kind of slick for these guys. So, at 107, I mean that's pretty hot. 78 degrees air temp. So moderate day. I wouldn't say hot. I wouldn't say cold, but for where they're at, I think it's decent. Don't mind the race distance there. Might be a little issue there with our graphic. That race will take it.
We say that every week. We got to get that. I think we forget about it until the graphic pops up every week.
Exactly. So we'll check into that for sure. But yeah, I mean 106, 107 degrees. As cars make their way on and off, it's gonna heat up. We got 24 cars in the room. Christopher Heim, who actually won at 5 Flags, is in the room. I haven't seen him in quite a few amount of weeks, so cool to see him in there. He had a cool mellow yellow 51 car, so it's awesome to see him in here. And yeah, just only 3 cars on the track right now, Steve.
Yeah, sometimes I've noticed with a lot of these series, everybody gets a half hour when maybe you only need 10, 15 minutes. But again, it's a brand new track for them, final race of the season. They might be throwing everything but the kitchen sink at some of these setups, and we might see a little bit rougher of a race than we've experienced all year. This is it, man. There's only a couple guys in line for the points. The points are kind of out the window for most of these guys tonight. They want to win. They want a top 5. They want a top 10. They want to have a good finish to the season. So maybe you might see some aggressive moves, some kind of questionable calls in the pit area when guys are going to pit. We saw last week, we kept waiting for guys to pit, and they never did, and thought they were in the clear, and then about 10 to go, it turns out the tires were pretty much used up. So this could be interesting to see what guys are going to do in the pits, what kind of strategy they're going to have during the race as well, and how aggressive they're going to get here.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a huge strategy race. Me and you both were surprised. Apparently they had the fuel to make it work and run the entire race, but unfortunately just didn't have a big enough lead, or whatever the case was for Merle. He held him to like 2 seconds forever. I felt like Bailey Turner was all the way back, and he just kind of picked his way up, made his way through traffic, and before you know it, he was at his rear bumper with about 8 to go, and they were slicing and dicing. But I talked to Brett after it, and he said his right front was cooked, totally wore out and fried. So if it was 10 laps shorter, he might have had himself his second win of the season, but unfortunately it didn't work out.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that race, man, we for 50, 60 laps, we were talking about domination, and this one was in the books unless there's a caution, and proved us wrong, but right to the end, and at least it made it exciting for the fans.
Yeah, it was definitely a good race, and even so, I mean, there was 20 cars in that one, and he was picking his way off halfway through all the way up to 10th, and then he worked on 9th, 8th. I mean, under green lapped up to 5th place, which was really incredible. And first and second had half a lap on third, and the one car was trying to make his way up, Gavin Pittman, and he just didn't get a caution. He was actually one of the fastest cars on the track, so kind of disappointing that he didn't get to have his fair shake in it. But that's just how racing is. Sometimes you get them super long green flag runs, and everybody's just trying to get their points for the night, and sometimes you have a wreck fest. So we'll see what tonight brings, but I'm sure it'll be it's a checkers or wreckers kind of night, you know what I mean? So people are going for wins. Obviously Turner's just going for a finish. If he gets that, he'll be okay. Gill's definitely going to go for a win. He's got 3 already this year, so he's going to try to rack another one up, see how far he can close it down. I don't know if he can get 30 points, but something catastrophic would have to happen for the 9 car, and a total night of just dominance, and it might be close. So
Yeah, we've seen some guys, though, that have had problems, guys that have been fast in practice or fast in qualifying, and basically be out of the race within 10 laps, using that quick repair early, and then, you're at the rear of the field, get caught up in somebody else's mess again. it's been a pretty similar season, excuse me, with all these events to where, we see some cautions early and then, we get some long green flag runs. So, the 9 car, I think, is just going to have to, maybe make it through the field the first part of the race and keep it in one piece. And, he gets a top 10, I'm sure he's going to clinch that championship.
Yeah, he's definitely looked good all season. So it's just going to be, the case of keeping it together and finishing this one off. If it's a, Turner Gill finish, it's still going to be Bailey with the championship. So, at what point can you make it better? I don't know, but these guys have certainly made really good improvements. A lot of these guys are new to iRacing, so there's a few of them that have some experience, and those guys have kind of shown themselves already. But a lot of these guys, out of California, they're all used to racing together or being around each other in mini stocks or late models or whatever the case is. So it's awesome that they even get to be a part of this and have been together for the last 6 weeks or so.
And I tell you what, you always hear the term point racing, and I've been doing this my whole life, and I've seen guys come in that last race just trying to have a good point night and clinch a champion. And I tell you what, DJ, I haven't known any of them that were happy to sit back and finish 5th and get a championship. When they're running that far up front and they know they kind of got a championship in mind, they want a double dip, man. They want a victory and they want the championship. So we'll see how the 9 car kind of plays it tonight to see if he's just safe to run and get enough points to get it, or if he goes, nah, I want the checker flag and the trophy at the end for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been nitty gritty all season long, to where he's really gone after the wins, even at the very end of each race. So a couple of them have been really close and may have slipped away on him, but him and Gill were duking it out at Five Flags, and they got into an incident. He almost got Merle at the Charlotte Legends Oval. I mean, a lot of these finishes have been really, really close, ending under either a green-white checkered or just, a 98-lap run within, half a tenth or something like that. So it's pretty incredible, the show that these guys have been able to put on.
Just a little over 13 minutes left on the practice clock, and you see Gill top of the board. He's still out there trying to dial that car in and make it a little bit better here tonight for the 120-lap main event here at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
And these guys, if people are just joining in, jumping on with us, are on a fixed setup, so everybody is running the same setup. So, I mean, for the 74 car right now, he could be getting some valuable experience running behind the 3 car. And he's sitting 12th right now. But maybe learning something a little bit with the line or something like that. You never know. There's always something you can catch up on, even if the speed's not there. The direction that you want to go and things like that are definitely something that you can pick up through traffic following somebody as fast as Gill is here.
Still about 12 and a half minutes left in practice, and then we will go into our qualifying sessions, and then basically same deal as every week, DJ, where we'll have some qualifying races and a last chance, and then we'll run that main event.
The racing is pretty smooth with these guys, and they have it pretty dialed in, from all the weeks of racing and trial and error that these guys have had. It started off pretty decent, but it just got better. I mean, the racing action was always there. It was just a matter of kind of decisions being made during the race night. And, man, I'll tell you what, Steve, the last few weeks, these guys have put on great shows. That they haven't lasted too long, and kept it entertaining for the fans and everybody else that's checking these races out pretty much all year.
Yeah, you can tell the drivers are kind of getting a little bit more comfortable running these cars, and even the admins. I think, man, we were talking after the race off air that we were fans of the racing admin last week, because there was a couple of spins, and we were thinking, here we go with a silly yellow flag, and he just let them go, and we were like, oh, hey, nice, we're going to keep this run going. And then 20 laps later, another spin, and I'm thinking, here comes another yellow. And the administrator, I don't know if it's the same guy every race, but man, I was impressed last week. He let a lot of the silly cautions just kind of go, and we kept the racing tight. I think that's why so many guys got a lap down. That's why the field was so tight up front with the racing. And again, nobody pays money to see caution. So if we can keep the green flag action on the track, I thought it was a very exciting race on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were races all over the track. It wasn't just for the lead. I mean, there were races 4th, 5th, and 6th, and whoa, going for a ride there in the 88. Sam Brown, hang on to that one.
Wow.
Going all over the place there. Lands on the fence and sticks to the landing. But no, I mean, there was racing all the way back. I mean, 15th had battles going on. There were guys side by side and clumps of cars that the leaders were having to make their way through. So there was no shortage anywhere on the track. And like you said, some people were spinning out. There were wrecks to be dodged, and that slowed up a few guys. But, all the way up in the front of the field to all the way in the back, these guys were duking it out for 90 laps,
Clean and green, that's what we like to see at any racing series. And DJ, I hate to correct you, but I got to say something. Earlier when we were talking about the 40, you said the old Milwaukee. And,
I did. I wasn't sure.
Your time, you're not used to seeing that Miller High Life logo, but yeah, that's Miller High Life. That's the exact same logo that, like we talked before, Mike White, one of our drivers at one of the tracks in the area, had on his car that looked just like that, about an 81 Camaro, racing in the mid to late 80s at Raceway Park. And yeah, it's cool to see some of these paint jobs. There was another one, it might have been the 18 or the 16. It was looked like a Piedmont Airlines, kind of a throwback to Terry Labonte, if I saw that right. There you go. Yeah, that's the old Terry Labonte. He won the championship in 1984, I believe, with that paint job.
I love the powder blue there mixing in with the white. Really clean on Sable's car. He's used to having like a royal blue kind of paint scheme going on, just flat royal blue. So he's got a nice scheme downloaded on that thing, looking pretty sick, and currently sitting in the top 5 right there in 4th.
Yeah, he's another driver that had some bad luck last week, and it's hard to say any of these guys don't have the bad luck, because it seems like everybody has a little bit of bad luck. It's just a matter of when you have it. If you're gonna, it's like college football with all those teams. If you're gonna lose early in the season, because then
right.
You can back balls. Same here. If you're gonna wreck on lap 10 and get your bad luck out of the way, because if you wait till the end of the race to have your bad luck, then you're kind of lost your shot for a victory. But yeah, really looking forward to this one. The new paint jobs, the new track. A little less than 9 minutes left to go in this one. About 8:15 still on the clock, and then we're gonna go into qualifying. I believe when I saw the graphic put up earlier, DJ, Isaiah Gill, was that correct? 9 poles this year.
Yeah, I could bring it up one more time for you, but yeah, absolutely. He's Dr. Domination when it comes to qualifying with these guys. Absolutely impressive to have that stat. See if we can bring it up. Yeah, 9 poles. So see it on there. He has just been awesome when it comes to burning down a hot lap on these cars. These guys are on the new tire model, so they're really slippery for the first couple laps, and then after that, like we saw, they run for a very, very long time. Not sure how long it's going to last here, but I mean, that's dependent on track and conditions.
We saw that last week, not only in the heat races, but in the early stages of the feature. Guys, one by one, we're going into the corner and just coming off and losing it. And the cautions would come out in the heat races. We still had plenty of cautions in the heats. I mean, the feature was pretty good.
Yep.
Then the leader would spin, we'd go under caution, and then we get going again. The next leader would spin. It was you really had to take care of your car those first couple of laps until they built up a little bit of heat in them.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy. Yeah, it wasn't good to be the leader for sure. You didn't have a good carrot in front of you to kind of decide what the good braking points were for a lot of these guys, and some of these guys being new or something, it was fully inverted. So a lot of the slower cars started up front, and inexperience kind of takes its way into that one, and we had a few errors.
Following the 19 of Brandon White, that was another guy that had problems last week. I think he was quickest in practice, and the night kind of unraveled after that. I want to say the first 4 cautions, it seemed like he was right in the middle of them. A lot of them just nowhere to go, kind of like you just saw there.
Right, that's just a mirror image of his Monday night.
Wow, they iRacing really got the flip points down on these cars.
Right? Yeah. They're like feathers when they hit other cars. The new damage model on these things, so you see the nose popping off and fenders dented and things like that. But still working on the physics side of it when we bang doors or do each other with these things.
And at least all the races that I've been on here since mid-season.
Yep, ran that paint scheme. Super easy to find, you know. A lot of these, especially when I run dirt, I always try to make sure I have like a neon car or a white car, just so I'm high vis whenever I'm spun out, because I can't keep it straight on those things. But yeah, easy to navigate and easy to see this car. James Moore, it looks like he's got a Diet Mountain Dew car this week. Old junior throwback scheme. Now, Steve, there was a huge update, actually like yesterday, for iRacing, and it was about 9 gigabytes of information, along with the new 87 Monte Carlos and Thunderbirds and things like that. But I'm actually noticing you can really see the wheel input of these cars. I don't know, like you could before, but there's like a drastic change, I feel like, in the way that the game shows what these guys are doing throughout the corner. You really see the tires moving, and the wheel inputs these guys have, even from far away, which is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely look forward to kind of monitoring that tonight again with our series tomorrow. 200 laps. We'll be able to watch those street stocks and just look at that travel and those right front, left front tires. It's kind of just cool to see them at speed like that, man.
Absolutely, and when you got cars, inches in front, inches behind, it's just that much better to watch these guys go around, and it's just cool, man. It's really cool that these guys have put in the time and effort to create something like this for everybody, and man, I'm happy to say that there's a possibility we might be hitting the track here in the next few weeks, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, real racing. Like I said, a lot of tracks have gone to iRacing. I know we have here in the Midwest a lot of other series popping up. You've been busy announcing races for people with the Drive and DJ network that people can find and follow on Facebook. But yeah, some states a little bit ahead of us. We're in Illinois. Iowa seems to be getting some racing in. Wow, look at that.
Absolutely. Hang on. I'm sorry to interrupt. I've got to see this from the in-car real quick.
Wow.
2 minutes. I have no idea. Let's check this out. Nowhere to go. Just airborne.
Which, how ironic for is realistic. You got to show a helicopter view of that or something. For as realistic as you're saying the cars are, and then we get this from iRacing, which is just nowhere at all realistic. I mean, it looked like they hooked the chain to that thing and dragged it up with the helicopter.
Yeah, but absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, they don't have the whole wrecking thing down yet, which is apparently unfortunately it's a part of it.
I've never seen one go that high. Pretty stands at Talladega, but wow.
That is funny. I lost my train of thought, Steve.
Yeah, track. Like I said, we're in Illinois, and Iowa has kind of opened up. Some tracks in Wisconsin have. Some of them still have not gotten the get-go. Really feeling it for our buddy Greg McCarnes, who owns Madison Speedway, as well as the Midwest Tour. Down the road, Jefferson Speedway is open, Slinger Speedway is open, and Madison just happens to be in a county where they're kind of taking things a little bit differently. So really a sad situation to see our buddy Greg McCarnes in. But like I said, Wisconsin, partially open, seeing some stuff going on in Indiana where they're opening but with no fans. And here we are in Illinois, and we're just happy that we're allowed to do some private testing. And then last week they opened it up to, I think we can have 30 cars for an open test, which still kind of isn't a lot, but it's a start. I think working with the Illinois Racing Coalition, a lot of positive stuff is getting done, and I really hope to, like you said, be on the racetrack in a couple weeks. This has been fun. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the Grundy County Speedway Super Series that we do on Friday nights with our home track guys. I've enjoyed the Redwood Acres stuff we've been doing here on Monday and Thursday nights, but really want to see some, especially after being out there Saturday, DJ. Getting all the cars parked, and that was a challenge, and didn't have enough pit pads for everybody because we were parking, every 3 or 4 spots. And then I went up in the booth and kind of got some stuff ready, our computers, our scoring, our race monitor, got a new sound system up there. We're going to have some music in the pits and in the grandstands this year. So, man, being up there with the microphone, I'm ready to see some real racing.
Absolutely, got all that practice in the on-off season that we had, and man, I'm like I said previously, man, I'm excited to hear you.
Which time we got left here?
We're qualifying.
Yeah, oh, we're qualifying right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, we were talking so much about that 99 car with his airtime, we lost track on time. Well, go.
Here you go, Brett Merle, one of the first ones to jump in.
Looks like some new patriotic numbers on that car.
Yeah, that's something he was doing. It's actually an original theme he was doing. Michael Falk made that theme for a lot of these guys you see on the back spoiler, the MF. So he does a lot of the work on these guys, and does really good work for all the guys at the Redwood Acres Raceway Series. So you see Merle coming around, go right to the top of the charts as himself and Slick Rick Tillman, like Dr. Domination himself, is going to jump up to the top spot. Coming around for lap number 2, we'll see if he can do better than a 20:27. It's the stripe. Lap looked good, but a 31 slowed down too. Turner goes to an 0.98, so even faster the second time around. Here comes Mr. 9 Poles himself for his laps.
Look at that guy sitting in third. Your boy's up there, man.
That's right. Cheeseburger got himself a heck of a lap, man. That 29. Loving it. From Cheeseburger Motorsports, Michael Lawrence. Here we go. Waiting on lap number 1. Gill's going to come around. Over 100 miles an hour. He's going to jump. And right to the top of the chart, Steve. Lap number 1.
He's going for pole number 10.
Absolutely. A good lap. We'll see if he does any better. Already ahead of Dr. Domination and the 9-car Bailey Turner.
Turner picked up on lap 2. Let's see what Gill does.
Ooh, a little bit slower at 20.123. So right now on the track, 51 of Christopher Heim is bringing it down pit road. Theory Reed out here making some laps. Always says that Gravedigger 46 looking awesome. Currently sitting in 18th. He ran a 20.46 this time around. So we'll see if he jumps up at all with that lap. Like still 18th. Tyler Peach in that orange 27. Little free going into 1. Sideways. Barely able to save it.
Nice save.
Cutting the grass for us down there. Brian Merle Sr. Haven't talked a lot about him. Brett and Brian in here, his sons. This is their dad in the Wonder Bread car. So this is one of the first races. He's got his rookie license in iRacing. Trying to make some laps out here with his boys on this final night, man. So it's really cool to see him out here.
Yeah, 3 murals in one race, man. I haven't seen that since the old Weltmeyer days back at track.
Absolutely. Oh, he's gonna go around, knock the nose off it, and go around. Right now, sitting in the 24th position. Final car out on the track with 26 seconds left. We'll see if Gary Kleintold can get himself a lap. He better hurry up. Might be able to pull 1 lap. 25 cars are entered and currently taking time. So we'll see if he gets a lap in. See where it counts for him.
Yeah,
if he can get that. They get 1 lap and jump up to 23rd. So that is your rundown right now on your screen. 9 cars in this first heat. Where we end up tonight with these guys. About to transfer in. Getting gridded up. Do a rundown here. Starting on the pole is going to be that 13 car of Brian Merle Sr. So this is going to work. Nope, only for the big race. All right, so Brian Merle Sr. in the 13 car. Then you got the 33 car of Andrew Ward. Going to be outside front row. Sam Brown in the 88 next to that 16 car we talked about earlier. He's going to be outside row number 2. Waiting to grid up on the inside of the 24 car is going to be the 2 of David Henderson. Then you got Brad Curtis on the outside of him. In 7th is going to be Josh McMillan. And then he's going to have that nice looking 51 car, our feature winner from Five Flags Motor Speedway earlier in the season, Christopher Heim. And then you got our 10-time pole winner of the year, Isaiah Gill, at the tail. We'll see if he can get it done from the back half of the field here. Make something happen.
Yeah, still waiting for the 2 car to grid. They're going to be taking off soon, so we'll see if Henderson is going to make the call or not.
Right now, I don't see any action going on so far. Pretty cool, man. Brian Merle Sr. is going to come out here in his first race and have to start on the pole for his first race in the series. So, should be pretty interesting to watch this one happen.
Just the way the kind of invert fell for the heat races. No other family members in this one. It would have been cool.
Would have been sweet to see all 3 in a heat. But...
yeah, we'll see if they all transfer to the feature or not. Looks like Henderson not going to make the start, and the smart rookie choice looks like he's going to elect to start at the tail.
Absolutely no blame there for the 13 car of Merle Sr.
Shame in that game, man. Got a brand new car last night of the season. Guys fighting for a championship. Nothing wrong with starting behind the 3 of Gill and following the night's fast qualifier through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Going to have some good tire tracks to follow as this heat race goes on. We'll see if he can get that 13 up and running a little bit. So and the whole deal is new for him. From what I was told, he's got a whole new setup and everything, and new die racing. So we'll see what happens here. But we're going to have 10 laps. Pace car lights are off. We're going to have Ward and Brown on the front row for this one. So everybody on the inside just going to shift up 1 row.
Yeah, McMillan made out between the 2 car not making the grid and the 13 going to the tail. That 99 car is going to start in the inside of the 2nd row.
Yep, gaining 4 spots before we even take the green, so good on him. Get that transfer position in. We'll see if they start them all, but Sam Brown's leading this one and not going to take the green flag. We'll see what happens to Ward as he takes off on the high side. A lot of action towards the back half of the field here. Spread out. Brown's going to bounce it off the wall. Sable to the outside with Curtis following him through. Guys all in a pack right now. You see them coming off, Steve. A lot of different lanes they're choosing as they come off turn 4 here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they were 3 wide going out there. Everybody's kind of feeling where the car feels good. The good thing is there's nobody going around on the first lap, so maybe these guys learned their lesson a little bit last week with the new tires. But look at that, 2x2x2 back there for that 2nd spot as Ward has checked out. As a little contact between the 24 car, but he saves it. The 51 going to get rolling again as well.
Here comes Gill to the inside of McMillan, taking a peek there, going down into 3. Andrew Ward still leading this one. Got a good run for him so far. Coming on 4 laps completed here. 7 to go.
DJ, you know this stuff better than I do with the iRacing rules. Does the leader dictate the start, or anything going to come of this with the 33 kind of jumping the start on the outside?
I'm not sure if anything's going to happen Normally on an iRacing server, you will get black flags on the official server to either let him go or have a pass or something like that. But if it hasn't happened yet, I don't see any penalties, unless from the race administrators themselves for having him doing something. But they have their own kind of communication they can do. And ooh, McMillan getting a little loose off a 4, going to come in front of the whole field. He clips Brown and Heim as they come off of turn 4. Still green flag for these guys. Yellow flag's gonna fly. And don't look now, but the 13 car of Merle Sr. just jumped up into the top 5 with that one.
Yeah, and it's never a good night when you rough twice before the main event even started there for McMillan in the 99 car.
Yeah, he's got some significant damage trying to keep that thing off the fence. Car looks pretty destroyed as of right now, so maybe he'll try to go and get a quick fix in that thing. Hard left turn, we'll see. Way down, I don't know if he can turn it down. It looks like he's trying. But making it down pit road, a lot of broke suspension parts on that thing, uppers and lowers bent, worked, tweaked, and all that stuff.
So tough break for the 99 of McMillan and the 51 of Heim. Both guys have qualified in the top 10 tonight, but having problems in the heat race. Looks like they may end up in the last chance race if we have one tonight.
We'll see what the case is later. Looks like we're going to have 3 heats, maybe 4 heats. So 25 cars, 9 started this one. So probably just 3 heats. So 9 or 8. But Andrew Ward, man, 7 laps led. Laps tick off in these ones, remember, Steve. Yellow laps do count. We're going to come around to 2 to go.
If we read this one, I can guarantee that Ward will not get the jump that he got last time. I think he'll be right in his tail.
Absolutely. Gil working his way all the way back up from about 8th or so, 7th or so, with the 13 dropping back. But Merle Sr., man, sitting there in 5th, like I mentioned there, just staying out of trouble. We saw Scott Sable go around in that 16 car, and then Christopher Heim getting into the 99 car. He's got that thing all quick repaired up, so he's good to go there. Try to get it ready and rocking and rolling for the B-main if need be.
And not really familiar with the point system here, but Gil sitting second in points. If he's looking for a max point outing, if they give qualifying points, he's set fast time tonight. If he wins this heat race, that's what he's going for right now. He's in second, trying to get the win. So again, if all those pay out points, Gil, looking for a clean sweeper so far. Already did it in qualifying, sitting in second in the heat race. We'll see if he can get part 2 of 3 under his belt for the clean sweep tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to try to max it out and, try to get the most output he can, lead the most laps, lead a lap. I'm not sure how they have their point structure figured out for bonus points, but, leading the most laps and leading the lap and fastest lap, all those are kind of things that sometimes series will do to give drivers bonus points throughout the season. So, no surprise that he's really wheeling that thing and trying to make it happen here as we come around to a green-white checkered. We're going to line up side by side here. But Ward is going to have the 3-car, 10-pole winner coming down. We'll see what happens this time, what he decides to do. We'll go up to the chopper view here for these guys.
Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
So Ward, pretty nice start. Gil the outside, gonna try to go even with them side by side through 1 and 2. Curtis in 3rd, hugging the bottom.
Yeah, following him right through, and on is the 3-car. No, he saves it. Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, Gil actually got sideways and another bump by the 33, straightened him out. So Gil back to 4th. Checker flag is going to wait for the 33 of Andrew Ward.
Crazy finish for him. I believe that's the first heat win on the year for Andrew Ward. But definitely somebody, hard charging coming through that one. So good to see him able to get it done there. I have heat race number 2 coming at you here, Steve.
Looks like Gary Kleintobe on the pole in the 39. Next to him will be Siri Reed in the 46. Row 2, the 19 of Brandon White and the 36 of Kevin Ostern in that Pabst Blue Ribbon car. Row
Love
3,
that one.
be the 22 of Gannon Cyphers and Slick Rick Tillman to the outside in the 14. And then your final row, the guys that duked it out last week for the win, the 11 of Brett Murrell and Dr. Domination Bailey Turner in the 9 car, your current point leader. Some love taps as these do battle here in the heat race tonight.
Absolutely. These guys have been rubbing doors all year long. So coming down to this final night, trying to get some max points out here for these guys. And Gil wasn't able to maximize his heat race. See the 11 car toying with him right now. But yeah, these guys have been fighting it out, putting great shows on all year long. And it's going to be pretty exciting here. So glad to see it.
Man, that 36 is pretty sharp, man.
Heck yeah, nothing wrong with a little PBR.
That's a racetrack beer right there.
Absolutely. It's cold. It counts, right? All right. Pace car lights are off. Kleintobe and Reed gonna bring us to green.
And they look like they're ready to pass the pace car there.
Right, ready to rock and roll. Kleintobe off to a huge start. Brandon White's gonna follow him through on the bottom. Reed's gonna drop all the way back to what looks like 4th. A lot of room between him and Cyphers right now. White looking to make a move to the inside. And Cyphers giving a little rub. You see the front tires of that 19 working real hard coming off of turn 4.
A little beating and banging through the field. PBR goes around in front of Slick Rick. They get it going. No caution. Battle up front. White still your leader on the high side. Cyphers trying to make a move to the inside, hugging that bottom.
Looks like the caution's gonna fly. Like Siri Reed with some pretty big damage on that car. Nose tore off it already. Going for that car. Not sure what happened to Brandon White. Slow down there. I'm not sure what the deal was with that. He was leading the race and just comes down to a stop.
Yeah, we'll see how that one kind of pans out on the restart, where he's going to line up at.
Yeah, already a lap down now because of that. Never know what could happen, Steve. A lot of, obviously we're inside our homes. Could have kids walking around or dogs knocking furniture over, any of this stuff. Or you trying to sit there and race, and you got chaos going on ensuing behind you. So don't really know what the deal is with that, but hopefully he gets that 19 rocking and rolling here in the B main if he's got to make it happen.
So 3 heavy hitters up front, guys that have been fast all season long. Gannon Cyphers, you're the leader in the 1, followed by Mural in the 9.
I'm looking at chat, and Cheeseburger Motorsports is reporting that the pizza guy has arrived at the 19 residence. So, you can see he has stopped that vehicle, still on the track, but caution lights still flying. So we're going to get a little sausage and cheese pizza in between races here for the 19. Unfortunately, his heat is 3rd, and at the same exact time as the delivery happening there. Reported.
I can sympathize because I did the Ileana Stock Car Radio podcast yesterday, and the ordered Chinese food, and they messed up. They thought I was coming to pick it up, and I said, no, I want it delivered. And long story short, they were going to deliver it, and I said, no, deliver it, make it fresh and deliver it after 8, because, I can't answer the door, and I don't think they understood me, so I had to tell the guy, I said, hey, if I tell you I'll be right back, that means my Chinese food came, but it worked out. It came at 8 o'clock, and it's like the 19 going to try to make up some laps, but might have been better off to pull in the pits so we could have got this one going again instead.
Absolutely. A little bit of a delay. Probably have a green white checkered here because of that.
On the track for 4 laps, CJ, at least he had a valid reason.
Absolutely. Nothing more valid than a little za to close out your Thursday night,
and that chat is valuable to find it, getting down to the bottom of what the fans really want to hear.
Absolutely. He's going to round it out. Looks like they already did get the one to go here. Pace car's going to come off. Cypher's with the good jump there. Merle keeping him honest, though. Dr. Domination behind all this action going on. We'll see what he sees from his in-car.
Right away.
Free there.
3-car battle up front. Cypher's got a little sideways, too, coming off the corner. Gets a little loose again. Dr. Domination going to look to the inside, 3 wide across the line. Mural, your leader, up high. Contact between the 9 of Bailey and the 1 of Cypher. Cypher now goes around front of the field.
Oh, Brandon White with the dodge finally avoids getting the caution. Looks like the left front is off of both of these cars here. Not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I still think they could have got going before the caution came out, but that's just...
There was only 2 cars that made it through that. 3, actually. Clientele made it through as well. Yeah, this we're gonna have a green white checkered again here. So unfortunately, a little bit long of a run here this evening for our heat races. We appreciate everybody joining us here on the Driving DJ Network. I see we have about 30 people or so tuning in for this one. Championship night here for the Redwood Acres Raceway Series. NorCal Automotive stepping up once again, sponsoring the second race for them for the season. 120 laps here at North Wilkesboro, Steve. And the place looks really racy. I'm pretty impressed, and these guys are doing a great job with it.
Yeah, you saw him 3 wide earlier. Looks pretty racy. Not quite as loose. I mean, obviously track temps maybe have something to do with that one. The 19 trying to make up some pizza laps there and get back around. But, yeah, really looking forward to putting a full field of cars out there as the sun goes down and the track gets a little cooler to see how it's going to happen.
Actually getting word here from chat again, thinking it's 150 laps. We'll see. We're going to fact check that for Cheeseburger Motorsports, but we'll see if you can get that Jacobs TV 47 up in front. Check out Jacobs TV on YouTube. A lot of videos there for Michael Lawrence's son, Jacob. Does a lot of good job. Actually, an in-race at the track junior reporter at the Redwood Acres Raceway Series. So starting young, Steve. How old were you when you stepped into the booth? I'm curious.
When I stepped into racing in general?
No, broadcasting, announcing.
Oh, I was old. I was in my 30s.
Really? You were behind the scenes a lot, though. I mean, you were obviously a fan growing up and things like that. But...
I've worked at 4 different racetracks over my life. And
what was the 4th one? Raceway, Ileana, Grundy.
I worked at Plymouth Speedway one year when it was asphalt, when Tom Smith owned it, and I'd work Ileana and go home and get some sleep, and they were an hour and ahead, and had to drive out there, however long, 2.5 hours, and worked there, and was driving home late at night. And I did that for a season when they used to race on Sundays.
Woo-wee. Busy, man. That's awesome. Yeah. That was actually the track I made my first laps at when I was 14.
And was that in a super late, or was that something else?
It was my dad's car. It was in 2007. I only tested one time when I was 14, but it was cool. I was at Plymouth when it was asphalt.
Yeah, I miss that place. I'm an asphalt guy, and it was fun to see that they're thriving as a dirt track now. But I definitely miss the dirt track that they had out there.
Absolutely. Nice even start here for Kleintobe and Brett Merle. Brandon White slinging it on the high side, trying to make it 6. Cypher's getting into Oster in there in the 36, 3 wide going into 3. Turner trying to go through the grass there, cutting it a little bit. Merle out to a dominating. Oh, Kleintobe's gonna go around, collect Slick Rick Tillman. Siri Reed, unfortunately, gonna get a part of that one as well. Gonna come around, try to finish this one off though. Merle looking Earl, Kevin Ostern, Gannon Cyphers, Brandon White, and Dr. Domination, your 6-time winner on the series, Haley Erno.
Yeah, that one had a little bit of everything in it. Look at that guy just chilling in his chair, man. Or is he laying down? I couldn't.
I don't know. I love the detail.
Rocking in his chair. He might have been passed out.
Very cool. Very cool. Special shout out to LaDonna Lawrence. Really appreciate the stars there. Anybody on Facebook, you see that stars button there. That's just that's our pit pass money. We race super late models in real life that you hear us talking about on and off, and you know, every little bit counts. Everything costs money in racing, and just walking in the front gate costs money. You're already money out before you make a lap. So to LaDonna Lawrence there, really appreciate that. We do this for fun, and you know, raising money to go racing certainly helps. So thank you so much for those 500 stars. Really appreciate it. We're gonna jump into our next heat race. Starting off with a nice looking 85 car here of CJ Dalton. He's gonna be on the front row with Brian Merle Jr. So Merle in every heat race tonight, Steve. And then Clifford Myers going to be in the 7th. He'll be next to James Moore in that Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwback. And then you got Eugene Palmer looking pretty sporty this evening in practice as next to Tyler Peach. And then Cheeseburger all the way in the back. Lovely, lovely looking throwback steam there on the 47. We'll try to get a better view of that one. And then you got Brian Nudie in that Miller time Miller number 40. Guys gearing up and ready to rock and roll here tonight. Dalton and Merle Jr. These car lights off. These guys are door to door and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, everybody's been pretty anxious in these heat races, trying to get a good start. Nice jump by Dalton in the 85. He's going to lead him across the line into turn number 1. Muriel Jr. side by side in the 7. Looks like he had to lock him up a little bit going into 1. That's clear. Now to the outside of him, the 61 of James Moore. Everybody trying to get single file. 27 car of Peach now trying to battle for that 5th spot side by side. The 18 of
Palmer gonna hit the wall. Peach is gonna go around. Nudie nowhere to go. He's gonna loop it as well. These guys trying to make their way through it. Still green for Merle Jr. in the 74 coming off of 4. CJ Dalton. Palmer looks like he's going up. He blew a tire there. Not sure what happened. Gonna jump to the pits. Cheeseburger sitting in 4th right now.
What's the sponsor on that thing? Can you see?
Absolutely. That is Jacobs TV, Steve. I actually just mentioned it, not even looking at the car, but yeah, youtube.com/Jacobs TV. That's his son on the hood and the quarter panel. So cool to see him representing. You see Cheeseburger Motorsports going around a little bit.
He gave us a better angle of that Jacobs TV there sideways.
Yeah. Trying to show him off there. Gotta make the save though. Gonna drop back to 6th spot. And right now this one's all junior here in the 74. 2 seconds ahead of CJ Dalton. And James Moore looking to run him down. We'll see if he can make something happen here. We're coming around to 5 laps to go. Free there off of 2, still side by side.
And that's what Muriel wants to see in the rearview mirror, 2nd and 3rd side by side, so he can stretch that lead out even more and get a checker flag here in the final event of the season for the Redwood Acres Raceway Series, final heat race of the night.
Moore doing everything he can to get himself a good spot. They lined him up straight up last time, so if you won your heat race, you were pretty much guaranteed a top 3 starting position. So this does matter. Merle Jr. with a good run going on. 3 to go. Side by side battle for 2nd here. More to the inside. We'll see if the 85 can make it stick on the top. Like a good run. Going to slide right up in front of that 85 car. So he gets a little loose. Hang on to it. And he sticks the landing there. Going to go a lap down to the 74 of Merle Jr. taking the white flag. Nothing but clear track ahead of him. Come off of turn 4, nice and clean. Running down the 7 car of Meyer. Coming off of 4 is the 61 car of Moore. He's going to finish second. Tyler Peach as well is rounding it out. He's going to finish P3 in this one. Another big gap back to the 40 car of Brian Nudie. And looks like the 85 of Dalton, who started on the pole and was running up front, got into it there on the last lap. So unfortunately for him, bring that car around in 6. A lot of damage to the right front there, Steve.
Yeah, we tore up some cars in the heat races tonight, but that's a perfect camera shot to you much tire.
Absolutely. All right. So we got a 5-minute warm up right now. Who's rolling out onto the speedway? I'm curious, fans, who do you guys think is going to win this one? We got some people in here, a lot of people cheering, a lot of family members, crew members, supporters of all these guys from the Redwood Acres Raceway. Who's going to win it? They're going to be the 9, the 14, the 88 of Sam Brown, going to break through, get his first win of the season on the last race night for these guys for this season number 1. Could it be Brandon White? Could it be Merle Jr. looking very sporty there?
Yeah, and if we go to the same lineup procedure as we had last week, he's going to get a pretty good starting spot here tonight.
Ooh. Great run for him, keeping it wound up. Brad Curtis sitting there in the top spot as of right now. The 8 cars making time. Dr. Domination. Could it be him? Could he round out and get win number 7? Cannon Cypher's showing speed all year long as well since he jumped in with us.
And look at the night Josh McMillan has had on his lid 2 times. Still up in space with that one rollover.
Yep.
That and now in practice, he's the quickest car out there.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see if there's any change. I think the track is cooled down. If you remember, Steve, it was up to about 106 degrees, so a lot more grip for these guys. The air temp hasn't changed, but there's kind of a reset. It looks like when every session rolls over, it's a little bit different. It doesn't keep the same wear into the track, so that's why we're seeing track temperature of 92 degrees. With more of these guys making laps, look for it to go up, but only about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this one. Everybody just coming out, getting the final kinks out of it, and they made their 10 laps in the heat. Now they're going to gear up for what I'm being told is 150 laps here to round out championship night.
Still a lot of cars not even taking laps. Scuff session, as we called in the Midwest for our guys, with a little final shakedown. A little over 2 minutes left to go. Tyler Peach now on top of the charts in the 27. Josh McMillan, Gannon Cyphers, as we see Dr. Domination moving his way up to second. Bailey Turner, your point leader.
Get a bumps in 3 and 4 here as it really upsets the car, and he's going to hit the wall. Keep that thing off the wall for a long race ahead for these guys. Wrecks galore are happening right now.
Yeah. And you gotta love those old Winston Cup tracks, DJ. You look in the backstretch, just a big opening. Waiting for somebody to get impaled there. An old Michael Waltrip Bristol wreck.
Yeah, absolutely. At the gate there.
You know, we had that last week, though, with the opening in the one corner, and guys were spinning and wrecking and going right out of the track.
Yeah, right at the top side of turn 1 at the Bull Ring in Vegas. Incidents mainly at the end of the race, luckily. That was such a strange ending, Steve. Turner got around Merle, and then Turner kind of felt bad, so he backed off. And then Merle wasn't going to take it a win like that, so he backed off too. And I'm not. I think it was Gavin Pittman in the one. He almost made himself up to get a win there, sneak one in.
Yeah, did you get a chance to talk to any of those guys? Is that kind of? I mean, that's the way it looked to us. Is that?
Yeah, that's what I talked to Brett after, and he said that was kind of the scoop of what happened. So yeah, it's just he was kind of a victim of circumstance. He knew his stuff was wore out, and he was just trying to race them. They ended up touching a little harder than they wanted to, and he ended up halfway going around and slowing up. And then Turner felt bad, so he slowed up as well. So you know, good on him for trying to do it. Still got the win.
Might have took tires because don't forget, DJ.
Yeah, there was nobody on the lead lap.
You know.
Yep, absolutely. You're right.
It could have been like Chase Elliott a few weeks ago. You know, the 9 could have stayed out. Everybody else could have pit and not lost a spot, and they would have been on brand new tires. Talk about a sitting duck.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would have been quite a crazy finish for him. But, for these guys, here we go. Championship night, Steve. And it will be 150 laps. Real quick, we'll bring up the graphic one more time. These are your battles to watch. These guys are getting gridded up. Check out the 74, the 1, and the 24. Check out the 33, 19, 18, 40, the 14, the 47, the 7, and the 46 and 39. All these guys fighting to duke it out. And the 9 of Bailey Turner and Isaiah Gill, those two guys up front. And not far behind is the 11 of Brett Merle. So those three guys pretty much pulled away in this one. But I'll give you the rundown of... actually, Steve, you go ahead, give me the top 10, and I'll hit the rest of the field up. How that sounds.
Front row on the pole be the 24 of Brad Curtis. Next to him, the 74 of Brian Murrell Jr. Brother Brett in the 11 will start on the inside of row 2, along with the 33 of Andrew Ward. Row 3, that Pabst Blue Ribbon 36 of Kevin Ostern, and the 61 of James Moore. Row number 4 will be the 88 of Sam Brown and the 22 of Gannon Cyphers.
And then Scott Sable in that beautiful powder blue 16 car is going to be 13th, just inside a deep starting spot for our championship leader out of Siri Reed, Christopher Heim. Some bad luck in his heat. Look for him to work his way through the field in that 51 car starting 19th. Slick Rick Tillman in the 14 car as well. Got a little bit unlucky there. Showed some speed in practice. Cheeseburger starting all the way back in 21st. So let's see if the 47 car can make its way into the top 10. Josh McMillan, one of the faster cars in that warm-up session, is going to be starting at the tail end. Unlucky for him in his heat. He's going to be 22nd, and 23rd is going to be the 39 car of Gary Kleinfeld to round it out.
Looks like problems for the 2, not going to start the feature either after missing the start at the heat race. Green flag out. We are racing. Brad Curtis will lead the field through 1 and 2. The Murrell brothers side by side. The 74 on the outside in second. They'll go single file. Got a spinner, the 36 car right in front of the whole field. Let's see who makes it through. Gill hard into the wall.
36 still bouncing around here. 85 catching some air.
We're going to see a lot of these cars head to the pit area like we talked earlier in the pre-race. Last thing you want to do is use up that quick repair early on. It looks like a lot of guys are. 36 car looks like he wasn't happy with the 33 as they'll bump 3-4 times down pit road.
61 getting a quick repair there. Now on my score sheets, the 33 car all the way back to 22nd. The 36 trying to make something happen there, missed his pit stall. He started up there in 5th. He's back to 23rd-ish. James Moore, all these guys were in 5th through 7th, all the way back in the 20s. Sam Brown back to 17th. He started up there in 7th. He dropped back quite a ways. Gannon Cyphers as well dropped 4 spots. Isaiah Gill started 10th, back to 19th. A lot of damage. Gonna try to see if he can keep that thing off of pit road to the tires on it, maybe gain some track position. But Brandon White up 6 spots in that one, stayed clean. Same with Nudie, big gain there. 13th to 6th right now for the Scott Sable 16. Did that 10 times fast. 7 spots gained for Dr. Domination. Clifford Meyer up 6 spots as well. A lot of these guys. Jerry Reed, man, started 17th, gained himself 7 spots all the way up to 10th.
Now the fun job of scoring, trying to get everybody correct spots. We know up front, Brad Curtis had a nice lead when we went green. Brian Murrell Jr., Brett Murrell, your top 3. Tyler Peach had heartbreak last week, but sitting 4th today early on in this one. Brandon White in the 19, rounding out your top 5.
Steve, only 5 laps into this one. This is the longest race of the season for these guys. Championship night. Lots of bragging rights on the line for these guys. Not sure if there's any cash prizes for these guys, but absolutely well earned. These guys have been duking it out. A large chunk of these guys being here the entire season. So really cool to see that. The participation from these guys has been really good. Awesome guys to work with, so I really appreciate these guys choosing the Drive and DJ Network and joining up with us to give us the opportunity to work with them. So definitely possibility to make something happen in the future, and let's see what we can come up with here in the off season, Steve.
Yeah, we're still working on timing and scoring, getting everybody lined up. The lights are still on the pace car. Hopefully things will maybe settle down a little bit. Now the lights are off. Looks like we're going to go green next time by. And like I said, hopefully we can get a nice long green run here after that early caution. Field starting to double up. Curtis and Murrell Jr. will be your front row. Rest of the field has a long way to go to get caught up to the field.
These guys better hurry up if they want any part of this action that's about to occur here. Curtis looking to make a big jump. We'll see if he can make something happen next to the 74 car. Car off, and he takes off right away.
Green flag.
Seems to be the trend here. It's a very late exit for the pace car to come off there, Steve. So a lot of guys making that move to take off right away. Murrell inside of Murrell Jr. for second. Not going to make it happen. Murrell Jr. maybe looking to make a move here on Curtis.
Curtis now up the track. Here comes Brian Murrell Jr. side by side at the line. Curtis still your leader. No, now the 74 will get by on the inside. Kleintob slow in front of the start of the field. Goes around. Nudie some contact. Looks like everybody's going to keep it going with the exception of Nudie. Let's see if he'll get it rolling. It looks like he's gonna. Caution still comes out. So admin not as lenient as he was this week, DJ, trying to let these guys race.
Yeah, but keep it together there, but I'm not sure what the pace car is doing, making its way off. We'll see what the deal is for that. Like just a little drive through there, everybody kind of backing up. And through all that mess, it looks like the 11 of Murrell, I should say Brett Murrell, can't say Murrell, with both of them up in the top 2 there. But with those guys duking it out and weaving around the 39, looks like the 11 car is going to take the top spot.
Yeah, tough break for your lead duo. Curtis had the lead, and Murrell Jr. in the 74. A nice move to get it, and then all of a sudden you find a lap car basically right in front of the field. So everybody had to get on the binders pretty hard. And the winner in that one, the 11 of Brett Murrell. Murrell Jr. back to second. Brad Curtis all the way back to 4th after Kleintob slowed down in front of the field. As you see the graphic now of spots that are gained, Brandon White up 8, Dr. Domination, Bailey Turner up 9 spots here, trying to clinch a championship at the Redwood Acres Raceway Series here at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Yeah, certainly a good move. This is only the top 5, so just to keep aware, that's kind of a very big graphic that we like to use up as much as we can, as well as fastest lap. You can see it. 9 car once again so far 20.49 with only about 5 laps of green flag racing action. He has himself a fast time. far 2 cautions, 2 lead changes. See the track temp 90 degrees, so a little colder than the warm-up session, and way colder than practice.
Still trying to sort out scoring. You see 2 lead changes, 2 and with 13 laps down, 137 to go here. We're going to be doubling up here behind the pace car. It's an all-mural front row.
These guys a much better start, or I should say grouping, or they line up going down the back straightaway. They're not trying to run these guys down and going all over the place. So we'll see if Brett in the 11 car takes off right when the pace car comes down. That's been a good chunk of what these guys have been doing.
Green flag, green flag.
Nice and slow. White right on the rear bumper. Good start for everybody. Nice and calm, cool, and collected. White working his way to the inside of Brian Merle Jr. in the 74. Pokes his nose in there. Let's see if he can make it stick here with Turner right on his tail.
Yeah, what did we say about Turner early on? Are you going to be to just get the points you need to clinch that championship, or do you want to put that car in victory lane? Well, up 9+ spots in the first 10 laps tells you the answer to that one. That 9 car wants to put it in victory lane tonight.
Absolutely. 16 laps complete in this one. Merle Jr. real loose on the top there. Turner making his way down, not going to make any contact, trying to keep it nice and clean there. Curtis, maybe a little bump to the 74 as they move through turns 1 and 2. Tyler Peach making a look to the inside of the 24 car. Going to tuck in, though, think a little better of it. Curtis looking pretty sporty, though, so far, Steve.
Yeah, he's going to pick up that battle he had early on with the 74 car. Now it's for 4th instead of the lead. But Curtis, nice run, solidly in the top 5 with the 27 of Peach knocking on the back door. Behind him, the 16 car, that Piedmont Airlines throwback Scott Sable. And Isaiah Gill had damage, did not pit. Looks like the 16 is going to go around. You saw that in the back part of the screen. But Isaiah Gill now up to 7th. As Sable ends up on his lid.
Yellow's gonna fly for that one. Gonna have to bring it down. Looks like he might have got a bump there. Coming through the corner there. We'll see if we can go to our rear chase cam and see if we can catch anything happen. Looks like he was just going around, not even touched by Gill.
Yeah, sometimes
I'm not sure what happened there.
They sometimes throw you. You think for sure. I mean, originally I was going to agree with you. I thought there was some contact by the 3, but the camera don't lie. You see no contact at all as he started to go around, and then the iRacing complimentary rollover.
Yep, can't deny that. Hooking that invisible berm there for these cars.
So Brandon White, nothing to lose tonight. He'd love to put that 19 car in victory lane. Brett Murrell probably feels like he threw one away last week, losing the lead so late in that feature event out at Las Vegas. Would love to make amends for that and end the season on a high note, putting that 11 car in victory lane. Bailey Turner back in 3rd. Would love to double up, win the championship, and his league-leading 7th main event of the season here tonight. First time these cars have visited North Wilkesboro Speedway.
And so far, the place looks really racy. It's a wide track, and man, it looks real slick up off both corners, Steve. These guys are really got a lot of wheel input trying to get these big boats turned around. And by the time they got the pedal to the metal coming off the corners, the right rear seems to gain grip right when they don't want it to, and just breaking free a little bit on these guys as they don't have, a ton of heat cycles on these tires. It's just, even with heat in them, they're still having some issues.
Well, and this is the longest race of the season, at least from what I've announced to you guys, 150 laps, and you would have to think the pit strategy kind of thrown out the window last week. If you guys did not pit, you would think 150 laps on this big of a track, guys are going to come in at least one time, DJ, and throw some fuel in that thing and put some fresh tires.
Yeah, there's already people who've made pit stops. Isaiah Gill's one of them. He's on a stent. You know, he went in 4 laps early, got his quick repair done. So he's got 19 laps on his tires. So he went in 5 laps into the race. He's the most forward car, I would say, on new tires. I don't want to say the fastest, but he's advanced the most on anybody with new tires. Andrew Ward as well is on new hoops behind him. But big mover right now from 21st to 7th. Jacobs TV number 47 car. Dialed up, ready to rock and roll. See if he can go any more forward. As Merle and White are going to take us to green here. Pace car is going to make a sharp left. Merle really good on restarts. We'll see what he decides to do. Nice and clean start again. And Turner keeping him honest going through turns 1 and 2 here. Jay Dalton as well is getting a piece of that. Side by side for the lead though. Merle and White. Turner with a good seat to this one. What do you think, Steve? Is Dr. Domination going to make it 3 wide here? Try to make it through here?
You know, I don't think you get 6 wins on the season by close. I think he's just going to run smooth here, work his way by the 19 if he can, and do what he did last week for a bunch of laps. Just maybe follow that 11 car around, maybe not show the hand early, and if he gets a chance to peek to the inside, I'm sure he will, but I don't expect to see him 3 wide anymore as they're single file now, the 9 and 11 for first and second.
Nothing but clear track right now in front of the 11 car, but breathing down his neck, that white and pink Camaro of Bailey Turner. And maybe get a run here. The breast cancer awareness sign there on Merle's 11 car. Side by side, Turner looking to make a move here, coming around to 30 complete. Going down into turns 1 and 2. Turner door to door, slow car on the bottom, keeps it pinned there. Still side by side, coming down into 3. Doing this, you see Brandon White make his way into the screen here. Tyler Peach having himself a good run. He's sitting in 4th. Turner's going to take the lead though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, even before they went side by side for the lead, the 19 of Brandon White was staying strong with him. Tyler Peach making it a 4-car battle, and Andrew Ward going to try to make it 5 cars up front, but a great battle for 3rd as you see the 19 of White and the 27 of Tyler Peach as they're going to follow behind Murrell, who looks like he was going to try to go high. Now he's going to maybe go single file again. No, looks like Turner's going to give him the outside lane, so Murrell going to try to get that lead back the hard way up top.
Trying to keep the momentum up in these cars, and if he gives them a lane, you know, it could be any man's race. Right now, he doesn't want to get off the bottom there up front. But even half a groove higher than Merle in the 11 car. The 19 of White's trying to make a peak there as well. A little farther back, looks like Nudie worked his way up into the top 5.
Yeah, and I'm curious, DJ, who's the car behind Peach? I thought it was Ward, but that's a different paint job. Whoever it is, probably a lap down.
Yeah, that's Christopher Heim there in the 51. 2 laps down.
Running strong with the leader, is going to try to stay in that lucky dog spot, and he might be one to watch a little bit later on in this one as you see him running strong there with the top 4 cars.
Yeah, definitely running some fast lap times. He ran as fast as Turner did, actually, the last lap around. So, just unfortunate circumstances for him. Might have got caught up in one of those spins we saw at the start of this run.
And now Nudie, after getting by Ward, he was about 10 car lengths back, and now he's starting to get up there, and he's going to chase down the 27 of Tyler Peach. And on the corner of my eye, I thought I saw Cheeseburger taking a look to the inside of Andrew Ward, trying to get up into that 6th spot.
Cheeseburger looking sporty tonight, man. Started 21st, keeping it 47 car, clean and green, literally. Good to see him having himself a good run. Andrew Ward won his heat race. Looking great there in 6th. Our pole sitter, Brad Curtis, he's sitting in 8th right now. A little damage to the left front of that car. Clifford Meyer having himself a pretty decent run. Started 15th, he's all the way up to 9th. And then 12 spots gained so far for the 99 car of Josh McMillan. We'll run down the rest of these guys here. Siri Reed looking good as well. He's up 6 spots still. Just ahead of the 36 PBR car. I was going to say Scott Sable, but he's 4 laps down still. Sam Brown's still on the lead lap as well. He's sitting 13th. Isaiah Gill, he's on the lead lap, but having some issues there. Steve running 14th after a front starting, or actually a mid starting spot, but moved his way up, ran into a little trouble there. Brian Merle Jr., we saw him go around at the start of this run, so he's got a bunch of damage on the left front. Still on the lead lap, hoping for a caution. Our last car on the lead lap is the 1 car of Gannon Cyphers.
Yeah, you mentioned when Murrell went around, the 3 car got some damage. Looked like he kind of hit him in the door on the front stretch when the 74 car went around. That's why Gill is running so far back there in the 14th spot. Did not pit, though. Maybe holding out, waiting for a caution, hoping for one to fix some of that damage. As you see, Nudie now has caught up to the 27 of Peach, who has worked his way to the inside of Murrell in the 11, while Brandon White has gotten by Murrell as well. He's up to 2nd, but still a pretty good distance behind the 9 of Bailey Turner.
Yeah, there's a 10th or so gap between the times right now, but right now, last lap, a 1-0 and a 3-4 for second spots. 2 tenths faster that last lap for Bailey Turner. The lap before that was pretty much dead even. See Kleintobe up top. Peach going to get around. Nudie going to look to the inside of Kleintobe. Merle to follow him through. The 51 car who we were talking about, Christopher Hine, he's right behind this pack. He's the only car. He's well, actually 1 lap down is Kleintobe, and then lap down cars CJ Dalton. He went around. We had some issues there as well, so he's sitting in 18th, 2 laps down. And then the 51 and 16, both those cars are 4 laps down. Everybody else 21st on back. Unfortunately, retiring from this one, Brian Merle Sr., Slick Rick Tillman, James Moore, Palmer, and Henderson not starting this one. But right now, your 6-time feature winner on the year with 45 laps completed, coming around to 46. Looking to put the 1 car, Gannon Cyphers, down. Gonna make it stick.
A little to see the 11 of Brett Murrell. He was up there battling for the lead not so long ago. He has dropped back to 5th. White got by him, then Peach did, and now the 40 of Brian Nudie. And man, last time we talked about Nudie, he was back there battling for 6th spot with Andrew Ward, who's coming into the pits. But Nudie probably is taking about 15 car lengths off of the gap between him and those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place cars, as we got a car on his lid. It looked like it was the 88 car.
I don't know how you saw that, Steve, because I had no idea. I was sitting there clicking, trying to see who I could find at a slow speed. But yeah,
well,
Sam Brown.
Up in the air.
Sam Brown bringing out the caution, going to tow it right to pit road. A lot of those guys just going a lap down might be getting the wave round here. So look for Merle Jr., Gannon Cyphers, Kleintobe, and Andrew Ward. All those guys a lap down. Looks like Ward might go another one as he's sitting down on pit road. Like Turner's going to make his way down. Everybody else to follow. All in this top 5.
Pit road, your top 5.
Like Cheeseburger's sticking it out. 40 car is going to keep it out there as well. Curtis is staying out. Clifford Meyer. All these guys trying to gain track position.
Up on 50 laps down, and the leaders have all pitted. Going to get into a 2 pit stop race. Maybe they'll pit on lap 100, or do you think some of these guys will stretch it out and try to go to the final 100 on these tires and fuel?
I don't know, Steve. It's definitely going to be a tricky one to see what's going on. I know there is no limit on tires. A cool thing, though, that we'll have to keep in mind even for our Friday night deal or Thursday night, whatever we're going to do. For us, they came out with a tire limit rule. So you can't take, like I've seen Bailey Turner in some certain situations, some races come down 10 times for tires, and some other leagues I've called, seen people make, upwards of 15, tire changes on the night. So in the future, I think we'll have some definite strategies playing out, but track position means a lot. I'm not sure how slow tires are going to be. Obviously the faster cars on older tires may be a little bit, at the same speed as the slower cars on new tires. So something to consider, and we'll see what happens with these guys. But yeah, I mean, look for Turner to get tires whenever he can, if it's a possibility. Only 14 cars on the lead lap, so he drops back to 5th after coming through on fresh hoops. So he's got the freshest tires.
Can you see fuel mileage with these guys? Can these guys that just pitted, can they go 100 laps with the amount of fuel they have in the car right now?
I would assume they can. I don't think there's any fuel restrictions, because you can actually set it to where the most they can possibly fill the car up is like 50%, to where they would definitely have to come down like a second time for fuel. But we saw last
laps he did get some track position, but the 9 car would have restarted a little bit further back than he did. Turner already up to 4th as he tries to get by the 7 of Clifford Meyer and Michael Lawrence in the 47, but Nudie, a fresh, clean track out in front of him in the 40, and we'll see how these tires play out. 50-lap old tires versus new.
Yeah, Meyer bouncing it off the wall there as he comes off the back straightaway there. Looks like Dr. Domination himself going to make his way up into 3rd. Josh McMillan, he's got some older tires on, but he's going to work his way by. He's one of those cars on the older tires, as well as Meyer. Everybody on back, though. This 6 through about 12 on a new set of sneakers, though, as Peach goes around.
Tough break for him. He was in the top 5 before that caution came out, and now with fresh tires on, you would think he would follow those guys through the field, not where he wanted to end his evening over there on the inside wall, but he'll get it going. No caution. Nudie now stretching that lead a little bit out front as Bailey Turner in the 9 and Michael Lawrence battle for 2nd, give the spot to the 9. So we'll see how quickly the 9 can chew up the lead that Brian Nudie in the 40 car has.
About 40 laps the distance on difference for tires. But Nudie, I mean, running 20.0 last time around, same time as the 9 of Turner. We'll see here, both these guys with a clean track, 20.1 to a 1989 of Turner. So definitely a faster car on the speedway, and I think that's the fastest lap of the race. No, 83 of Gill. So still working his way through this mess here. He's on new tires as well. So the 7 car on used tires in front of him, as well as the 99. So Brandon White and Isaiah Gill kind of teaming up, making their way through this one.
So now I think it might just be a matter of where the 40 car ends up. I would imagine the 9 eventually with fresh tires on that car. But if he can kind of stay with them, the 40 car stay right there in 2nd with all those other cars that took tires back there 4th on back, and these guys decide to pit with about 50 laps to go. Was a smart call for Nudie. Take that track position and gain some of those spots. He was running 5th, I believe, when that caution came out last time by. So we'll see how this all shakes out, and if those guys that pitted for tires on lap 50, if they're going to come in again or not.
Yeah, right now, not coming in at all. 50, or actually, he did come in once for a set of tires, but he has 50 laps on his tires in the 40 car. It's about a 10th and a half difference right now. Turner being a little quicker, able to be in the draft and stuff like that. So looking to the inside of Nudie right now. But yeah, like you said, these guys have a pretty big gap right now. Merle moved his way up ahead of Cheeseburger in the 47 car. And Brandon White trying to work his way up. Like Nudie and Cheeseburger, the only cars in the top 5. McMillan's got 52 laps on his tires, and so does the 7 car. He's got 63. He hasn't come in once. He's sitting there in 9th spot as White works his way under the 47 and Gill to follow. Well, unlucky start and crummy start for the 3 car, but he pulls himself up into the top 5 here as we come around to 63 complete.
And if we can get a long green flag run here, we'll start to see some cars go a lap down. I wonder if we have a repeat of Monday night when a lot of cars went a lap down. All of a sudden, if a caution comes out late, there's only a handful of cars on the lead lap. I wonder if we'll see some tire strategy there. If there's only 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap, you think some guys are going to gamble and take some tires late, only maybe losing a spot or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something to be said there, and definitely a strategy that can work. Right now, White looking like he's one of the faster cars on the track, looking very sporty, faster than Turner by a lap, or by a 10th there on the last lap. Right now, the 11 car of Merle in his way, trying to figure out a way down there. Merle going to give way, give him the bottom side here. He's going to wash up in front of him. A good run off of 4 here.
And before the caution came out, don't forget the 19 car had worked his way around Muir top 5 and was running second. So him back up to 3rd now as he'll try to chase down the 40 of Brian Nudie, and Gill, who had problems early, looking very strong now as he's going to take a peek to the inside of Muriel, trying to put that 3 car in the 4th spot.
Merle, not really a choice here. Want to burn them up. I would tuck in and see if we can follow these guys through. These guys all on the same set of tires, coming in at the same time. Right now, Nudie looks to be about 0.2 off. These guys all running about 20 flat. He's running about a 20.2, so he's slowly fading back. Brandon White about to work his way to the bottom of the 40 car. That's a roll a lot more than the 40 is able to on those older tires. And tuck in, put Brandon White up into 2nd spot. Currently a 2.1 second gap with the pass on the 40, running the same speed as the 9. So look for the 19 to maybe chip away at this lead here, Steve. 2.1 seconds. We'll keep that in mind and see if he works his way through.
And now Nudie's starting to fade a little bit more as Gill to the inside will take 3rd. Mural in the 11th going to try to take 4th. And what a sickening feeling there, DJ, when you try to gamble. You're not sure how the tire gamble is going to pay off. You go back to green and you got a decent-sized lead. And then once these guys catch you and start passing you and you're back to 2nd and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you're kind of second-guessing yourself in the car. He's back to where he was before that last caution, so he's probably wondering, if I was going to stay in 5th, I wish I would have came in and got tires.
Yeah, absolutely. He's sitting there in 5th, but he's 0.4 off of the next car ahead of him. These guys getting tires and having 40-lap pressure tires. He may be right where he was position-wise, but he's not going to be able to keep up with these guys, especially as laps tick off and we near the halfway point in this one. Maybe rethink the strategy for the second half of this one. Right now, kept it pretty clean, so hasn't used up any quick repairs or anything like that. So he'll have the option as long as he can stay on the lead lap. But right now, currently 4 seconds off the lead. So Turner putting down a pretty fast pace. Only car in the 19-second bracket. Everybody else is running O's, and it looks like the 3 car made his way past the 19, so he's cooking himself as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't look now. He made his way past Mural, and then he got by White a couple laps later. Now he's starting to put some distance between himself and Brandon White in the 19 car. So we'll see if the 3 car can chase down your point leader, the 9 car. These guys have been battling all season long. Top 2 in points. One has the most wins. One has the most poles. Both of them want to end the season on a high note and put that car in victory lane here tonight.
Yep, cream rising to the crop early in this one, Steve. Halfway through, a couple laps over right now. And Turner looking to be about a 0.5 slower than the 3 car of Isaiah Gill. Brandon White holding himself to a strong 3rd place run right now. Brett Merle making up a little bit of time there as he was falling back before he got some new tires. But the 40 car not letting him slip away there. Running a little bit faster than Merle these last 2 laps. So maybe making a little run for it. Tires may start to be evening out for these guys. 30 laps on everybody in the top 4, and then 67 laps on the set of tires at the 40's on.
And again, we said we assume these guys are going to pit one more time. Maybe not. Maybe guys further back in that top 4, somebody like a Brett Murrell, maybe that doesn't have enough to handle the 9 or the 3 car. Maybe they're sitting there saying, you know what? I'm going to ride around in 4th place. I'm going to save my tires. If we get a late caution and those guys decide to pit, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to stay out and I'm going to go for a shot to win here. So you never know what strategies are going to play out here, but we're going to find out what's going to happen in about 70 more laps.
Absolutely, and these guys all strung out towards the back half of this top 15. Guys in 10th here, Meyer has not hit pit road. He is one of the only cars besides the 47 car of Cheeseburger Motorsports, Michael Lawrence. Those 2 cars not touched pit road yet this evening, as we're over the halfway mark, and they have got to be feeling some wore out stuff. Got Tyler Peach, he went around, he's making his way back up about a half a second faster than the 7 car. He lost a lot of track position there, Steve, as he went around coming off of turn 2, maybe getting some help from somebody. But those 12 cars are on the lead lap. Everybody here 13th on to 18th. All these guys 1 or more laps down.
Yeah, Michael Lawrence in 7th, Clifford Meyer back there in 11th, more than halfway through this one. They're screaming, wanting to see some debris on the racetrack, hoping somebody goes around. They need a caution. They already got over 80 laps on these tires, and they want a pit stop as the 7 car is going to drop back 1 more spot. And him and Peach in the 27, they're not too far from maybe going a lap down here, as the 9 is looking pretty racy, still up front. Isaiah Gill in 2nd, chasing him down just a little bit, but still a decent way back to that 2nd spot.
Yeah, as these guys work their way through track field here, after him, Ostern's going to be looking for Turner to maybe make his way up around to see if he works his way up. He actually has that pack of 10th place cars here, so a lot of these guys duking it out, working their way around some lap cars. But the 27 of Peach, 7 car of Clifford Meyer, these guys racing for position. So is the 22, and the 33 is 2 laps down. So these 3 cars right here, Peach on back, are all fighting for position.
And sometimes the leader has it worse than anybody because these guys are fighting so hard to stay on the lead lap. They're not going to give it up that easy. You know, they're going to wait and wait and wait, hope a caution comes out, and then once the 9 car or whoever's leading finally gets by them, it seems like they give it up a little bit easier for the 2nd place car. But yeah, Bailey Turner going to have his hands full with 4 cars right in front of him as they go down the backstretch, and going to get interesting.
Yeah, he sneaks his way to the inside of the 7 car, looking to the inside of the 1 of Gannon Cyphers. Gonna give way to him. It's difficult in both predicaments, because if you're a lap car, you want to let the leader go without kind of inhibiting on his race, but you don't want to give up any ground on the cars behind him. So you can see this corner, Cyphers chose to go high, and the 7 car made his way up to the rear bumper. So just trying to stay out of the way can cause yourself some grief. And in all this mess, the lead's cut down to just under a second, as Isaiah Gill now has his battle ahead to work through this lap group of cars here. 3 cars separate him and the 9 in the same frame here, Steve.
Yeah, he'll get by the 7. Now he's going to work on Cyphers in the 1. Ward in the 33 up there as well. And that 3 car rolling through the center of the corner nicely as he tries to put these cars a lap down. Ward staying high, looking like he's going to give him plenty of room. Just over a second now that lead is from Turner back to Gill in 2nd. About 3.5 seconds back to Brandon White. He's trying to work his way back up as those 2 deal with some lap traffic. But now Gill, fresh nose in front of him and nobody there. So we'll see if Gill can chop into that lead attempt after they dealt with that lap traffic.
Yeah, that time by a 10th faster for the 9 car of Bailey Turner, as we're nearing the 100 lap mark in this one, coming up on 50 to go. So 50 laps left in season 1, and the guys who have been up front most of the year are up front. Dr. Domination Isaiah Gill, Brandon White, Brian Nudi's shown a lot of speed since he joined. He joined a little later in the season, but he's been quick all year long. Brett Merle sitting in the top 5 as well. And Brad Curtis, he started on the front, worked his way back up. He got into a little bit of incident there in the middle of this one. Still 94 laps on his tires, holding strong in 7th spot. Probably one of the best runs for the 47 car. That Jacobs TV Cheeseburger Motorsports Camaro. Got Brian Merle Jr. making his way back. He went around a little bit on the earlier part of this run. So this has been a pretty long stint. I want to say this run's been about 40 laps or so, 45 laps. And then McMillan, he's in 9th, and Tyler Peach, first car a lap down. So you see he just got lapped by Turner on his screen. A little bit farther back, or farther up, I should say, is the 99. He'll be the next victim to go a lap down as you see Turner working his way, trying to work around that PBR 36 car of Kevin Ostern and Siri Reed. Ostern going to pull it down to the bottom, stay out of the way here of these guys.
And the lead's still about 1.2 seconds. Gill staying right within striking distance, not letting them get too far out front. And again, you're wondering what these guys are doing with the tire game, getting ready to hit lap 100. Going to be 50 laps to go when we hit that point. Are these guys hoping for a caution to where they can get some fresh rubber and duke it out? Or are they thinking in the back of their mind, we're not pitting no matter what. I got to make these tires last another 50 laps. So we'll see how stuff plays out. Only 9 cars on the lead lap. McMillan not far from going a lap down. So we may have another race like last week where more and more cars go a lap down. And it's going to get interesting here as laps are starting to wind down 2/3 of the way through this one. Redwood Acres Raceway Series Championship night here at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
I'll tell you, somebody who wants a caution, it's got to be that 47 car of Michael Lawrence, or that 40 car who's still sitting in 4th, running about the same times as the 19 car and the 11 car. So he's kind of right where he needs to be, settled down in 4th spot there. 90 laps on the set of tires for the 40 car and 100. Everybody else, McMillan, he's got 90 laps on his as well. He must have went in with the 40 car of Nudie. And then Clifford Meyer hasn't hit pit road at all yet, and he's sitting in 11th spot.
And you got to figure that the crew chiefs are looking at the 40 of Nudie. Still competitive up there in the top 5. Obviously not turning laps like Turner and Gill are, but still competitive enough to where they're going to say, hey, this guy's already 90 laps on these tires. We pitted around lap 49. We can go 100 laps on these tires. So again, if anything, that might be hurting these guys. Nudie doing 90 laps, it's letting everybody else in the field kind of see proof that these tires can last 100 laps if you kind of take care of them. So maybe we won't see that late run of pit stops. It's going to probably depend, obviously, where a caution falls, if we get one, and how many cars are on the lead lap.
Absolutely. And Steve, the 40 car is running. It's actually crazy. I'm looking at lap times. The 9 and the 3 are both running 20.4, 20.3. The 19 running 20.4. And the 40 car is actually running 20.4. It's just won a 57, but actually just won a 33. So he was the second fastest lap of the top 5 with all those laps. So just like you said, he may not have to come down pit road if you're one of these newer cars. But even for those 40 cars, I mean, we saw it last race, you know, on Monday. The 11 was really, really fast, and then it was like 10 to go, and he fell off like a half a second. So pushing the limits as far as how much he can ride the set of tires at speed. But right now, he's absolutely keeping up with these guys and not losing much ground. I mean, obviously, these guys are about a half a tenth faster, but, you know, top 2 cars running 3s, you know, 3rd and 4th running 4s, and then it falls off to about 7s or 8s as you hit the back half of the top 10.
Well, DJ, not to cut you off, I want to see that lead battle because Isaiah Gill 3/10 behind the leader while we were following the 40 of Nudie. Gill sliced a second off of that lead and now has the 9 car in his sights.
Checking it out, you see our 2 car graphic. You see Gill making an appearance in that Skittles car. Turner coming up on some lap traffic all the way up. This is 9th and 8th spot that they are running up on as we have about 41 laps to go in this one. And he's there.
And how aggressive is Gill gonna be? Does he want to win? Does he want to try to get the championship? He knows if he gets by Turner in the 9 and Turner finishes second, championship is still going to belong to Turner. So is he just throwing everything out there, caution to the wind, and he wants to do whatever he can to try to put that 3 car in victory lane as they'll put the 74 car all lap down Brian Murrell Jr. Now only 8 cars on the lead lap, and the 99 of McMillan right in front of this bunch.
You can see the 3 car digging on this one, right behind Dr. Domination Bailey Turner, putting the pressure on, not really making a move quite yet, maybe snaking a sneak peek there to the bottom, going down into 3 and 4. Turner just trying to keep laps up, putting guys a lap down, about to lap the 8th place car of Josh McMillan. Great run going for him. These guys are just fast, man. He's on that older set of tires, so tried to play that strategy, but we're on one of the longest runs of the races, if not the longest run of the race. We're at I want to say about 60 laps of green flag racing so far, and we're within a 1/10 of a second here for the lead.
Yeah, pitted around lap 49 when that last caution came out on lap 113. And what run, maybe want to stay close in case the caution comes out and he can get the lucky dog. But Isaiah Gill going to hang it out on the high side and try to make a run to take the lead.
Tucks in, coming down into turn 1. 35 laps to go. He takes a little bit of a higher line there, Steve, and he kind of comes off a little more straight than Turner. Turner not going to give up the bottom, though. He's going to have to make, or going to try to make Gill work and get around the bottom, or get around the top. He's definitely giving him a lane, so that's the lane he's going to have to go unless he wants to move the 9 car. But right now, Turner looks to be the slower car in this one, and Gill putting on a pretty good show here. They don't touch, going down side by side through 3 and 4. You see the 9 roll really well off the bottom of 4 there. Isaiah Gill's going to have to do something to make it stick. Follow him in, come on off the bottom or something like that. We'll see what he does. Right now he's going to tuck in, let those tires cool off, maybe make a little run for it. Still plenty of time in this one.
Yeah, I think Turner is plenty happy holding the bottom, giving him the outside lane because he probably figures, yeah, go up top. I'll give it to you, let you burn up the tires a little bit more than I am. He gets to the door a little bit earlier but could not complete the pass. He's done that a couple times now and had to drop back in line to cool off the tires. So now Gill wondering, maybe, do I want to keep burning up these tires knowing I can't make the pass on the high side, or do I just try to follow him and we'll see what happens when we get down to the end and settle it that way?
Absolutely. A lot of options here. Gill almost getting into the 9 car, coming up on a lapper here. Kind of been the downfall of the 9, getting rid of that 2-second lead. 3 car's been able to navigate a little bit better than Turner. He's going to stick it way to the top side, using the 39 as a pick. May be able to make it stick, work to the bottom here.
Leaders.
And may have hit the incident limit because Kleintub's no longer in this one. He's going to retire. They do have an incident limit in this one. Man, not the car you want to make contact with.
And it looked like he had plenty of room. It looks like there was no contact. But enough about that. Unfortunately, Gill only lost a spot. 30 laps to go. 7 cars on the lead lap. You know, Nudie would come in. Gill is in. What did the 9 car do? I saw Brandon White come in. I did not see. There's the 9 in. So all of your leaders have pitted. And I'll tell you what, DJ, this one is going to be a barn burner.
Absolutely. Cheeseburger deciding not to make a trip down pit road as he is.
We love you. Go.
Get some hoops, man. Get some hoops. I don't know. He might have been a lap down, but yeah, it shows him right now in the lead lap. So definitely want to come down pit road and get some fresh tires for this one. Not going to lose much here. Only about 8 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else making their way down. He is going to come down finally. We have some hoops on that 47 car. Brad Curtis right now, he chose not to pit. He's got 73 laps on that 24 car. He has inherited the lead.
Well, if we had maybe 10 or less left to go, I would maybe agree with what Brad Curtis is doing. I don't think he's going to be able to hold off that many fast cars with new tires with about 25 laps to go. Once we go back to green, I have a feeling they're just going to eat him up.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty for that one. As you see, Gill makes a pass on pit road. Turner giving up a spot there.
And you got to wonder, did Gill, and again, DJ, know a lot about pit stops here with iRacing. Can you just put 2 tires on?
Absolutely.
Gill might have just put on 2 and saw what the 40 car was doing with 100 lap old tires and decided, you know what, I'm going to do some track position. He came in third, and to come out, you know, basically in the lead behind the 24 car. But yeah, he jumped up 2 spots in front of the 19 and the 9, and now he's going to get to start alongside of the 24. Turner is going to be stuck behind the 24 car of Curtis with those 75 lap old tires. So Gill might have lucked down here. Might get a pretty good restart with the 9 stuck behind the 24. We'll see how it all plays out.
A lot of confusion right now, Steve. Pace car lights are off. Some cars dropping back. Some cars getting wave rounds. The 11 car is on the tail end of the lead lap. He's trying to get his wave around. These guys are coming around to take the green. So look for Turner to try to tuck in front of White or maybe go to the bottom here. Here we go. Curtis jumping off right away. We've seen it all night long from him. Turner to the inside of Gill. We'll see what he does here through turns 1 and 2. Gill going to try to pin the 9 down and the 24. 24 giving him room. The 3 car of Isaiah Gill's going to take the lead down into 3. Turner going to go to the outside. Look for Brandon White. Everybody on fresh stickers. That 40 car keeping all these guys honest. He's on new hoops as well.
3 wide now, the 19 of Brandon White. He's going to, but he'll shift up the racetrack now. The 9's going to go underneath him. Nudie, who looks so strong, is going to battle for that 4th spot side by side with the 19 of Brandon White. Curtis back there with 75, 78 lap old tires, watching the leaders kind of pass them by up front, though. Isaiah Gill, your new leader.
Gill having Turner chasing him down. Brandon White trying to work his way around. You could definitely score everybody up to speed. Not sure what that one was for.
Come on, Flagman.
Right. Very generous with that one. But Steve, 11 cars on the lead lap in this one. We're going to have 21 laps to go this time by. Do you try to get the advantage? Obviously, if you're in the back half of this 11, if you're, I don't know, Peach, Merle Jr., McMillan, grabbing some tires, leave the fuel out of it, get some tires on this thing. You already got 10 laps on them. Brad Curtis, definitely get some tires. You got 80 laps on your tires, so you'll drop back to 11th or less if other guys pit. So we'll see if anybody decides to come down. Looks like Gannon Cyphers, he's going to be coming down pit road. Might go a lap down, though. I think he already was a lap down, so we'll see. He misses the pit exit, so he's going to go a lap down this time by.
Yeah, I think these guys pretty much have made their bed now. Curtis, kind of makes no sense for him to pit this later, else he would have pit 8 laps earlier when the caution came out, so I think he was going to stick with his strategy. It was so few laps to go. I don't think brand new tires are going to make that much of a difference with 10 lap old tires. So again, didn't expect to see anybody pit. And man, that whole front row now is going to be side by side. Talk about some hard racing. You're going to want to keep an eye on that front row. The 3 of Gill, second place in points. Bailey Turner outside of him, your point leader, trying to clinch the championship here tonight for the Redwood Acres Raceway Series.
You can see our 2-point leaders running 1-2. Definitely a reason for that going all night long. Nobody making their way down pit road. Definitely surprised. You don't lose a whole lot with Curtis. Right now, Nudie was definitely faster. Peach was faster. Though You know, if I'm him, Steve, you know, if I'm the one car to pit, you know, it's definitely gonna be the 24. I would definitely come down, grab some poops. I know there's 19 to go, but man, those times really add up. If you're 2 or 3 tenths off, you can find yourself in some trouble. And you know, with 6 or 7 cars a lap down, those guys aren't going to be cutting you much of a break if they catch up to these guys on the lead lap.
So gonna be going green here soon, DJ. You've watched these guys every race this season. Who do you got your money on here tonight? Gill on the inside on the restart, or Dr. Domination denying a Bailey Turner on the outside?
You know, both of these guys been putting on heck of shows, like, I mean, all year long. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of these guys, but you know, my hopes are up for maybe a new winner, maybe the 19 car Brandon White, or the 40 car. Those cars have been pretty fast. Those the 3, the 19, and the 40 are going to be lined up on the bottom here as we start doubling up. So with the 24 on those older tires, I'm looking for him to wash up and basically a clean go. Turner hasn't really made many laps on the top side, so curious to see how he makes it stick here. But Brandon White's really sporty on restarts and tends to get really good ones. So we'll see if he can make something happen. And, you know, a little pressure. These guys driving hard at the end of this one. You never know.
So pace car getting ready to pull off the speedway. Great jump for the 3 of Isaiah Gill. John White going to follow him through in the 19 car. Turner back to 3rd in the 9 down the backstretch. Gill has cleared everybody out front. Turner, what am I saying? I ain't no Turner up.
White a little free, gonna wash up, bounce off the wall. And Turner is gonna make his way down this time. Still driving that thing, wheeling it, no grip right now. Cool him off, bring him down. And he's gonna hit the 99 car, and he's gonna get together with the 11 car of Merle. Those guys going around. Mayhem, and somehow the 11 flips once again with these physics. Not sure what happened there. Cheeseburger avoiding all this stuff going on. He's on the lead lap still.
Brandon White, he wrecked like 7 times in that final.
Yeah, he was doing everything he could to keep that thing.
Brandon, okay to take your foot off the gas and straighten it out, buddy.
Awesome set of driving, though. I wish he wouldn't have hit the wall and kind of got into those guys. But a victim of circumstance there in the 99's. Got some damage of Josh McMillan, that GoPro. Nikon Camaro. A lot of damage on that vehicle. Still on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap. But by the time we get going green, looks like Ward is stuck there on the entrance of pit road. Maybe out of fuel, maybe out of tires, maybe out of car. Not sure what's going on, but get that thing fired back up. Back out onto the track, or on pit road.
DJ to the 24 of Brad Curtis. We thought he'd fall back through the pack when everybody got new tires, and he's still there right now in position for a podium spot. The 40 of Nudie gonna line up to the outside of him in row 2 when we go back to green, and we'll see what happens. Can Gill get a good start like he did last time?
Yeah, definitely curious. The 19 of White, man, he has such good resets. That's why I was really looking at him to see what he can do. Unfortunately, a little bit overdriving it there with tires so cold, and he spun out coming off of 4, but he managed to actually spin out off of 2. So he went half a lap, halfway wrecking that thing, and collected a few cars in the process. Turner able to get around him, and Brian Nudie and Tyler Peach working his way up into the top 5.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because, as you mentioned, the 19 of White, he was so close to Gill on the restart. He worked his way past the 9 car to where Turner couldn't get down. I don't expect to see the same type of restart out of Brad Curtis in the 24 with 85 plus laps on those tires. So I think it's going to come down to the top 2 of Isaiah Gill and Bailey Turner in the 9 battling out for this one.
Absolutely, Steve. These guys have been in the class of the field pretty much all race long, and you know, all year long. So it shows. Not sure what the points difference is going to be between first and second. Obviously, we still have 10 laps to go, so anything can happen. one of these guys can end up, as far back as 14th or 15th in this. So don't want to count your eggs before they can hatch. But definitely want to look at the realistic side of these things.
Weekend, we don't want to do that again.
Yeah. Crazy finishes have been a thing for these guys. So look forward to some more action here happening within the next 9 laps.
Green.
And they're off. Gill to another good start, but Turner with a pretty good run on the top. White looking to get that 19 wound up again. Nudie to the outside of the 24. Still side by side for the lead. Gill keeping that 9 car up on the top side of the track. Rolling really good. Gonna see if he rolls right up in front of Turner. He does. Nudie still duking it out back there for third. With Curtis going to tuck in. Turner still working on the 3 car, though, right on the back bumper of Gills that go down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Nudie now to the inside of Curtis trying to take over the 3rd spot. If the 9 is going to make it around the 3, I think he's going to try to make it work on the bottom, but he'll do just what Gill did before. He'll take a peek up top if that's the only way he can do it. Lap starting to wind down on this one. Going to be 6 to go at the line.
And absolutely, Gill doing the same thing. Turner looking to make something work on the bottom. Go even lower than what Gill is offering there on the top side.
Yeah, Gill definitely looking in the mirror that lap. He kind of gave up the bottom. Some got a little loose. And now he's going to give up the bottom to the inside of the 9. And Nudie is there as well. So Gill, he's going to have to fight on the high side because he's not going to be able to get down to the inside with Nudie there. Nudie now into the mix, of 3-car battle for the win.
Loose there off a 2. Turner not giving up the bottom side of this one. Gill keeping him honest though. We're on board with the 40 car of Nudie. These guys are in a train. Little loose off at 4 there. And look out now, the 19. Sneaks up into 3rd spot here, Steve. Definitely some shaking and baking going on here in this top 5. 4 laps to go. 3 to go here at the line. Turner in the lead for this one.
Gill's going to gear up and try to make one more run at the 9 of Turner. Will he use the bumper if he has to get by? The 19 of Brandon White. He's been up front, shuffled back, up front, shuffled back. He's up there again now on the rear bumper of Gill in the 3, who pinches it tight, coming off of 4. They'll go across the line into 1. Some contact now with the 19 trying to loosen up the 3. 3 trying to get a nice run. Is he going to dive down to the bottom now? Laps winding down.
Contact with a 19 into the 3. And that's going to solidify. Nudie works his way around. The 19 hits the wall. Gill makes his way around. White flag is out. And no looking back for the White Claw, number 9, Dr. Domination himself, taking away the championship and the race win.
Look at that champion graphic in the corner for Bailey Turner. Karma kind of coming back to bite the 19 car, trying to loosen up the 3 to make a run. And looks like, did Nudie maybe get into the tail end of the 19 car there? Yeah, maybe you could get a replay of that last action there towards the end as Bailey Turner makes a lap around the racetrack. Getting some congratulations from the 27 of Peach. Like you said, we saw the 19 loosen up the 3 of Gill. Thought he was going to try to get by him, but then the 19.
I'd say all kind of got together in that one. That was kind of a strange one, you know.
All the 40, no place to go. Nice run, though, by the 40 of Brian Nudie to take home second place as we'll watch it from up top.
Yeah, just kind of know where to go for the 40 in that one. And yeah, everybody just kind of got together.
Nice recovery for Peach as well in third spot in the 27. 83 laps led here tonight for Bailey Turner. Victory number 7 in the Redwood Raceway Series.
Dr. Domination, Bailey Turner, 7 wins on the year, Steve. Been fast all year long.
And the crew telling them to burn it down. We got a
He
couple.
did. I just heard it blow up. So for the NorCal Automotive 150 lap championship, Steve, guys have duked it out and survived. A lot of the top guys there finishing up top there. Brett Merle with a top 10. We'll give you the rundown here real quick. Looks like the 9 car of Dr. Domination, you saw it, takes his 7th win on the season and the championship for the Redwood Acres Raceway Series. The 40 car with one of his best runs, Brian Nudie, he's going to finish 2nd. Tyler Peach up there adding to that points. Not sure what's going to happen there as he was only a few points behind the 11 car Brett Merle. So we'll see how that shakes up. Isaiah Gill, unfortunately, looking to try to get a top 2 and sneak up there and maybe have something for the 9. But with him up there, there's no holds back, no looking back for the 9 car. He's going to definitely win this championship. Awesome run for Brad Curtis, man. He had 100 laps on that set of tires for that car. So to come off with a top 5 is awesome for him. Then you got Brett Merle. He's going to end up 6th. Josh McMillan with a great run, finishing 7th out of this field of 25 is a great finish for him. Brandon White, right, like you said, back to front, back to front, back to front, getting together, getting spun out, and getting it back up. Siri Reed. See, we didn't talk a whole lot about the Gravedigger 46 car, but Siri Reed, man, he started back in 17th, made his way up to 9th. Awesome run for him. Sable as well. He was a couple laps down, and he worked his way up into 10th. I know it doesn't show, but he definitely had himself a tough race.
Going to go through the rest of the field here. Gannon Cyphers, Clifford Meyer, Michael Lawrence, Brian Merrill Jr., Christopher Heim, Andrew Ward, Kevin Ostern, Gary Kleintobe, who had problems a couple of times in front of the leaders, CJ Dalton, Sam Brown, rounding out your top 20. And then rounding out the rest of the field, Brian Merrill Sr., Slick Rick Tillman, James Moore, Eugene Palmer, and not making the green flag start, the 2 of David Henderson. So 25 cars will be scored in this one. And DJ, what a season for these guys, man. You must have had a lot of fun working with them all year.
Yeah, this has been awesome, all year long. Definitely have some good memories for these guys for season 1 of this one. All these are logged up. A couple of them are on YouTube at the Driving DJ Network. All of them are on Facebook at the Driving DJ Network. So if they ever want to take a look back, download those, show them to friends and family. This is definitely something cool for them to check back out and see the recordings of all the tough battles and spins and beats and bangs and all that stuff. So congratulations, I got to say, to Bailey Turner in that White Claw. 8-0 laws when drinking the Claws Camaro. He's been showing his speed from race number 1, Steve, and these Redwood Acres Raceway guys, I really appreciate them, and for joining up with the Driving DJ Network. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys.
I want to throw in a little shameless plug here. Our series runs tomorrow, a 200-lap street stock enduro, unlimited fast repairs, no cautions. So if any guys out there listening here, drivers that are running in the series, if you're interested in running tomorrow, give us a message on the Driving DJ Network on Facebook. We still have 6 spots available, and we'll race you guys with some Midwest guys if the time frame matches up for you guys with us being based out here in the Midwest.
Absolutely, definitely a fun race on tap for tomorrow. So for Steve,